up. Good morning or afternoon or evening to everyone. Got a few more people wandering in. For anybody that's new here, Tina's daughter. Um, we try to talk about anything deeply technical or even more shallow. It's like we try to keep this thing pretty open. Anybody has any questions, please shout them out. This is a pretty informal space. And no surprise, Enrique, my friend, what can we do for you this fine day?
So I wanted to ask Senor Ben, what's up with our KSIM? It's been a couple of
Um,
months.
we are working on rolling out the managed portion of it.
Okay, so then
And
now Anthony, what's up with my KSIM on the other side, on the non-managed side? Because I got an email a while back and then had to make sure
So,
my environment was connected, but
absolutely. So, for anybody who isn't who's new to this space, long before the acquisition, SaaS Alerts had a product we called Managed SaaS Alerts, and our friend Ben put this thing together and kicked it off, and some of our partners are rather pleased with it. And so, yeah, there's one, and Enrique is one of our biggest fans. Um, this has evolved into an offering we're calling Kaseya SIM. It is a managed SIM. It works really well with Rocket Cyber. It handshakes nicely. We sort of partition what's going on. It's eyes on glass 24/7. It's dedicated threat hunters building out new indicators of compromise and respond rules and all that. But there's some complexity there because, again, this guy. Um, there's more than one SKU in our lives right now. So as this evolves, you're going to see this all come together. But as with all acquisitions and as with all new application rollouts or new tool rollouts, there could be some complexity there. So, as one of our legacy folks, our friend Enrique, it was getting services directly from SaaS Alerts, and now that's evolving over to the Kaseya side. So, Enrique, you're covered. We've got guys watching your stuff. All the things that you've come to expect from Ben and his team are in place for anybody that's on your platform. Once the sort of mechanics of making sure that we've checked all the boxes and that all of our Salesforce accounts are updated or whatever it is that we need to do on our side, that's on us. Don't worry about that. If you
oh,
have any questions, reach out to us directly. Go ahead, Enrique.
I will. But so a quick thing, because I got a call yesterday at 3 in the morning from Rocket Cyber of a first-time login from Germany. And we had where the help desk got reached out to managed and requested a whitelist for the user. It'd be awesome if that whitelist of the user and managed Rocket Cyber could know. So I don't mind calls at 3 in the morning, but you tend to answer, yeah, it's fine. They're traveling the world. Not much data processing at that time in my brain. So, but I do remember seeing the ticket, the help desk open with managed SaaS alerts. I do not remember the country Germany, but I assumed that's what it was.
Seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
Yeah.
Um, Enrique, you're not wrong. This is an evolving, excuse me, I gotta give some light. This is an evolving place. We've got a ton of great data here at SaaS Alerts. Rocket Cyber's got a ton of great data. All the different apps that and processes and services, even hardware, endpoints, and everything else that Kaseya sells, have got great amounts of data. How do we better integrate these? Our friend Mr. Lippy has got a full court press on doing exactly that. Um, this is a Tina, you didn't miss a thing. Just Enrique complaining. Um,
Not
uh,
complaining.
You're
we've got
awful.
a full court press on this is to try to say, hey, what kind of data that we're developing here that you've seen in maybe some SaaS Alerts reports could be used by the My IT process guys? What we're getting out of Rocket Cyber could we better use to enrich hardware data for some of the appliance guys? There's just all kinds of complexity here. And as a firm, we're still figuring this out, but trust me, this is something that is high on everyone's radar. So um, I'm not going to make any promises, but watch this space. I know we're doing some neat things on the background
Are you
that
talking,
aren't specific to SaaS Alerts. What was that, Tina?
are you talking about Sim?
Yeah. managed, evolving to SIM, evolving to Rocket Cyber, evolving into, I don't know, whatever the guys in marketing are going to call it next time.
I mean, believe me, I'd rather have the call at 3 a.m. than not know.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, so look for more phone calls in your future, Enrique, as we get better at this and polish this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Enrique,
Yeah, I think
anything else that's top of mind? I'm sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I will say I think the plan is to pretty much we're moving Rocket Cyber over into our PSA so that we can easily communicate with each other about your platform. And so
Yeah, so the experience will be a little bit more, if not homogenous, a little more unified.
yeah.
And, that's not going to affect everybody here, but for anybody who's in the Kaseya ecosystem, there's good things coming. I say that not as a Kaseya employee. I say that as somebody who's worked in the MSP space for a decade now, and I give a damn about my partners. And we're making the product better. I think it's going to be good for the entire community, not just the Kaseya guys. What's up, Roman?
Hey,
So, Enrique, you kicked it off. Anything else top of mind for you, my friend?
I'm going to share the mic because I've been out of a mic for months. So I want to make sure I spread it across, not take it up.
Excellent. For anybody who's new to the call, what's on your mind? We've got a couple things that Ben and I always like to, have a small agenda. We never stick to it, but we like to hear from you. Is there anything technically that we can dive into? Any questions about the platform? Anybody but Enrique want to ask a question? What's up, Enrique?
Forgot I turned on token theft protection via conditional access directly on our own tenant, and I locked out my help desk from Azure Virtual Desktop. Not sure why, because their devices are registered and stuff. So I was going to ask Ben, are you guys building templates or something to implement the token theft protection, or what's the status on that and experience?
The only template is the one that you have in Fortify that basically creates the conditional access policy. I have not looked at it or tested it, to see, what happens when somebody signs in. But from what I gather, it looks at devices that are registered or joined, but I don't know if that's on a per user basis, like if it's looking for devices that belong to that user or all the devices that are in the environment. So in your instance where there's a virtual desktop, may not be registered or joined for that specific user and maybe causing you some issues there.
Well, their desktop is joined, their actual physical desktop.
Mm-hmm.
If not, they wouldn't be able to log into AVD. And I followed, there's like 4 or 5 application or cloud apps that you can configure only for token theft protection and only on Windows so far. So I followed it, but I don't know. I need to go back and check it. I'll take a look in Fortify as well. See, maybe it's easier just to push it through there.
So you know about the customizations you can do, right, with those policies?
I've heard about them, but I haven't done them.
Let me show you. Let me see if I can dig one up for you here.
Tina, great seeing you, Tina.
Nice to see you too. Just about didn't make it this morning.
The what? I'm sorry?
I had to hurry this morning. I had a little bit of a
Oh,
morning. I'm still fresh out of the shower. I just about didn't make it.
I'm having a good hair day, so I won't complain.
I had the same questions as you though, hammering them about SIM and how that's going. I was sad to miss that, whatever you were complaining about. I'll have to
It was
As it
not
evolves.
complaining. And then he misinterpreted my question. It was trying to get a progressive, better improvement conversation going around what's going on.
You were enriching the calls. That's what you do, which is awesome.
Trying.
All right, let's see. You guys are cracking me up. All right, let's see. So this is your token protection, right? So when you're deploying these, you can edit customization here and go to add parameter and then select the policy state and make sure instead of enabled, you set it to report only. And so what that'll do is that when this does trigger as a conditional access policy, you'll be able to either look at our logs or directly into Azure and see which times it would have triggered and why. And that can help you. It's similar to like an alert only with a respond.
Okay, yeah, I have to go check the logs. I basically took it from on to report only.
Yeah,
I'll
and
just
you can create exclusions, I believe, as well for like if you do have like an office IP address or range to exclude it from that sort of protection. That may help a little bit as well. So don't just go with the just the out of the box experience, because conditional access policies are very customizable and
And I think wouldn't the IP be super tricky? Because let's say I whitelist our AVD IP from Azure. So now my help desk clicks on a bad link, they go and enter their credentials. Well, no, sorry, because
yeah.
need to be in the machine. Yep, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's all you get in there too. Made me think about it. But no, yeah, and that's a great thing to even look at pretty much any conditional access policy. You know, we had a client that was a law firm that absolutely hated MFA and refused to let us enable it. And so we built them a conditional access policy that as long as they were in the office, they didn't have to MFA. But this minute they stepped out of that IP address, that's when the MFA kicked on and they had to do all the fun code entering.
So maybe the help file I read was wrong because I'm seeing you guys are only turning it on for Exchange Online and for SharePoint Online, which covers Teams and OneDrive as well. I also did AVD. It's the help file I read said it covered AVD as well and Windows Cloud login or 365 login. But here I'm seeing you guys are only on the applied configurations are only showing those two cloud apps or workloads.
Yeah,
It's the
these are
supported
your
app list. Yeah,
there's
that's
your
the
support
important
apps.
one.
So basically if that's the case and it's not being turned on for all of these, it could be that Microsoft has expanded this. I know initially it was only a few of them. So what I can do is I can just copy this list and let Jason know to update that policy. So that's a good find. Thank you, sir.
Well, just so you know, OneDrive and Teams are covered with Exchange Online and SharePoint. So is Power BI.
Okay.
I don't remember
Well,
about the rest. Because if you search for those workloads and conditional access, they won't appear. And then this is only for client based, not web browser based, which is also, I've been in a lot of talks about this and no one has mentioned that because to me, the biggest risk with token theft is on a browser, not so much on a client.
Sure. Yep. You are very correct. Yeah, I mean, and that's I've never like said this is the kind of the end all be all and token theft's no longer an issue. It's a good attempt. I don't think it's the
Work
silver
in
bullet
progress.
everybody wants, but yeah, it is progress. I think I think the way that they do it is very similar to the way we do Unify. You know, we're looking for known IP address authentication, and when you see token use from a non-registered device or joined device or RMM device, then you take an action. But this is at least preventing them from getting their foot in the door.
What
Yeah,
happens?
are you trying to do the Vulcan thing? What was that?
I only do that on that side, but what happens if you already have a cap in place for this? Do you guys know what happens? Overwrite conflict? Has anybody tried that?
I believe if the name is the same, then we like I think we update it, but otherwise it may end up creating like a duplicate or something. I don't think it
I think
necessarily
I've
looks
seen.
at all the conditions.
Yeah, no, I think it's not going to check for similar or exact names. It's just going to put itself in place, and if that overwrites an existing policy that's one-to-one exactly named, then you get the new policy.
Yeah.
But if you have that same policy or a similar name policy doing the same action twice in a row, then you can have 10 different conditional access policies that do the exact same action that have 10 different names. I don't know
And
if that
Jason said he
breaks
will check the
anything.
policy too in a little bit and see if there's a need to expand the scope.
Cool.
So
Hey, we
he's
should
usually pretty quick about that.
we should get Jason on here as a guest speaker one day.
Jason doesn't like to do webinars or
No,
anything.
I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't. Jason is one
He's
of our
good at it though.
developers. He's brilliant. Yeah, and he's very personable. He just doesn't like it.
Yeah. No, I've had him on. I've had a webinar with him before, and he did great.
Yeah, he's a fantastic human being. Enrique,
Oh,
do you
why is
remember
my
why you
hand
raised
up?
your hand?
Oh, I was mimicking Teen. I was doing a little
I
nanu over here, and I guess it tagged
Nano,
me.
nano.
Sorry.
Can I ask you guys about, I guess, a bit of an integration situation? I did not prepare myself for this, so I'm going to go off the top of my head. We have a client that's split into 3 sites in our RMM, which in turn is split into 3 sites in our other security products. So in SaaS Alerts, when we brought SaaS Alerts on board pre-Kaseya, it brought it over as 3 separate sites, or else we manually created it as 3 separate sites. So we have obviously just a single tenant. So we linked it to a single site, but I see that as a problem now with the integration with the SIM because it's not reporting on the tenant for the other 2 sites and pulling data and taking a look at that. Should we link the tenant to all 3 sites and suppress alerts on 2 of them? Or have you had this situation before or anybody bring this up? Or should I start from scratch and put this site right down from our RMM into a single org?
Have you seen that, Anthony?
Only in EDR, and we have some functionality to deal with that. Other than that, no, Tina, I have not. So just so I understand, there's 3 separate Azure instances.
Single Azure instance, single tenant. But the company is a single org split into 3 sites. They're kind of separate divisions of the company in 3 different locations. So we have them separated out for various reasons. It makes billing easier. But I ran into this recently. I haven't had time to take a look at the SIM and manage SaaS Alerts at all since we signed up. But this came up
Did you
in my
say
mind.
it was the RMM? Is that what you said? Or
Yeah, it was the RMM portion.
okay.
No,
Originally,
I could speak on that if I may.
Roman, please.
So so I'm fully in the Kaseya family. We've been with SaaS Alerts obviously before the acquisition, but I know exactly what you're talking about. So we have data RMM, Autotask, and we do have multiple clients, construction company, which with like 8 locations, kind of like what you're talking about, the main tenant, and then split into different locations for billing purposes. Exactly that. It's a pain. It's a pain because, for example, Autotask has locations, but data RMM does not. So what I had to do is I had to go back and kind of reinvent the wheel and redo all of my, main company. I had a main company, I don't know, ABC, and then locations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can't do that anymore because then the syncing does not work to data RMM, which in turn goes to AT glue, which in turn goes to everything else. So we redid it in Autotask. I kind of did different sites for different locations. So each location is its own site right now. That syncs perfectly to data RMM. Problem like Anthony, you mentioned with EDR, I don't know what to say that it does that, but it kind of did everything under this main system, whatever org. So I got with Jason Powell and he actually showed me how to uncouple it. So manually, I created different orgs for each customer, and then I synced it with SaaS Alerts.
we have that.
So it's a pain. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We have it done in EDR. The only piece that I'm thinking is in SaaS Alerts and pulling the alerts from all of them because the SIM essentially should be looking at all of that data eventually if it isn't
Right.
already and tying it all together. So I'm missing a huge piece with those two orgs, or sorry, those two sites under the same org that don't have the
Right.
365 tenant link to it. So my thought was link the tenant to all three sites so that the telemetry coming in, so that the SIM can act on it, but suppress alerts is the only solution I can think of other than going back to my RMM and restructuring from the ground up, flow that through our Rocket SIM SaaS alerts. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And Rocket, the thing with Rocket is we started seeing a lot of duplicate alerts for 365 with Rocket and SaaS alerts. So my order task was like, I got 8 alerts for one thing, which made no sense. So I actually worked with Rocket. I have a good relationship with the SOC manager with this. I worked with him. I actually turned off all the 365 alerts for Rocket. And now everything just goes into SaaS alerts because honestly, SaaS alert does a much better job anyway when it comes to 365. So, I mean, yeah, you just kind of have to play around with these things because alert fatigue was real, when we first onboarded this. And now with the SIM, everything from Rocket is going to SaaS alerts anyway.
Yeah.
So, and
that was the
I'm not
challenge. I mean,
sure.
we
Yeah,
could
and I'm
see
not
that.
sure who your, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we saw that where you get the same alert from EDR that you got
Yeah.
from Rocket Cyber that you get, and getting
I'm
that
okay with
cleaned
that.
up.
Yeah.
You don't get that. I'm
I'm
glad.
okay with that though. I'm okay with lots of alerts. It's that missing telemetry on those two sites that I need to figure out. Do you guys think I should link a tenant to those other two sites?
Let me pull up my instance and I'll show you how let me see how I do it. Let's see, it's one email, right? At whatever.com. And then you just have different locations.
One tenant, you mean?
Right,
Yeah,
right. One tenant. Okay.
correct.
Okay, let me see.
One tenant, 3 orgs in SaaS alerts. So I don't know. The only thing that I can think of is restructuring it so it's a single org across the board, or linking the same tenant to 3 orgs in SaaS alerts. But then I probably have a billing issue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You're gonna have all those extra accounts.
Right. Yeah, so the way we bill, the way that Anthony Warren bills CEO Nero, is we kind of have all you can eat. So we don't bill differently for different locations. We just kind of allocate the bill somewhere else. So for us, that tenant with 8 different locations is sitting under one name in SaaS alerts. So everything comes under ABC, and then we know which user and which machine kind of fits under which location. So in SaaS alerts, we don't have that capability, not capability, but we don't have the location spelled out in SaaS alerts. But we have, see, in data RMM, we have them built out as sites. In order task, we had them as locations, but they didn't sync to data RMM, so we had to go back and redo them as sites too. IT Glue also has an issue syncing locations sometimes. So yeah, I mean, sometimes, you acquire a new product and, we kind of had to work backwards to make it all sync.
Yeah, it's a single tenant in SaaS alerts right now. Obviously, when you integrate with the SIM, that's when the problem comes up, right?
How do you have them on Rocket Cyber?
How
you
do I
have them
have
separate or?
I'm assuming it's 3 separate. Let me log in.
Yeah, because in Rocket Cyber, I also created its own little kind of tenant for each, not tenant, but each separate organizations for each location. The reason I do that, again, goes back to that RMM. I'm using the custom field for that RMM to automatically install Rocket. And whenever new computers added on that particular site, it automatically sees it and adds it to the corresponding Rocket.
Yeah, we do that too with the EDR and Rocket. It works. I never come in here. Yeah, it's 3 separate sites because it would have pulled over from RMM. So that's the thing, is that the SIM is supposed to take all of this telemetry and watch for indicators of compromise.
Right, correlation and all that stuff. But no, I get it.
Yeah, and those two sites are just missing out. So I took it up with support, and they essentially said, restructure it.
Yeah, no, I had the same issue with EDR, and it's a development thing that,
Yeah.
can go around it. So yeah, so essentially
And
what happens now, Anthony, I don't know if you're familiar. So with EDR, everything goes in a system. So
right.
this alerts are completely useless to us as of right
And
now.
that's, yeah. And Roman, you're usually on the calls, but you might have missed last Thursday's call when our good friend Adam said we're refactoring what we're doing on
Oh,
our side
nice.
to
Mm,
accommodate it with multiple orgs or a single org with multiple instances inside of that.
perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
nice,
So
nice,
that
nice.
that is coming. And I actually think I don't want to promise it this month, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen right away.
Okay, okay,
Because
cool.
yeah, we've been talking with our friends in the EDR about that. And even though I didn't hit record at the top of the hour, that's one of the things that I wanted to reiterate is that
You did,
we're
Anthony. I
seeing.
just paused it because Roman was going to share his screen. I didn't want his customer
Oh,
data
thank you. I
on
thought I'd
YouTube.
lost my mind. Yeah. So,
No,
all
no,
right, then. Yeah,
not
that's
today.
exactly where we're going. We've got so many different applications. We've got to figure out as a firm how to better integrate these. Tina, was that just doing the elbow, wrist thing?
I don't know how to put up my hand. How do you put up your hand? I was just thinking, do I just need to make a lot of noise with you guys, maybe on the other calls too, about the SIM? Because maybe there's some way in the SIM that we can just pull those sites together to a single org for
Um,
at all of that telemetry. There's got to
I
be an
think,
easy way, like a
I think,
sub site,
yeah.
maybe. Who do I need to
I,
talk to? Who do I need to bug? Adam?
I think I would check the chat
Ron?
and follow Ben's instructions and
Oh,
let's
okay.
just because, yeah, if we want to make sure that you and the sim team break out a little time to make sure you get on board properly, and maybe we can kind of walk through that as part of that process. Um, and then you're not wrong, Tina. And for anybody who's new to this call, squeaky wheel getting the grease. That's how SaaS Alerts was built. We started off, I'm not even kidding. We thought this was going to be a widget. We were going to build it and be done in 18 months. And then we had partners saying, hey, I love the visibility. Can you build me some reports? Like, oh, okay, yeah, we can build in that. And I love those reports, but why aren't you monitoring this other app? Like, oh, okay, we'll do that. And I love that. But hey, could you look at policies and could you automate and you could do this? And then it turned into this monster. And then we got acquired. Now we're part of a bigger monster and it's not stopped being fun. So literally, we thrive on that kind of feedback. Anyone who hasn't been exposed to our roadmap board, it's called NOLT, reach out to your account manager, carbon copy me, and we'll get you access and we can show you where people are able to upvote or downvote new features that are suggested by partners like you. We love that feedback, good or bad, guys. So definitely join that conversation. Um, so Tina, I think that's as much as we could dive into that question, but I love it. Excellent. Thank you for that. Um,
Yeah, and if
guys,
you
this is
guys need any, sorry to railroad you, Anthony, I'm saying I have a great resource at Rocket Cyber. Alex is a SOC manager over there. He is amazing. He'll work with you to create any custom rules. So if you want, you can just, I guess, reach out to Ben or Anthony. They'll contact me and we'll go from there. I'll make an introduction.
absolutely. I appreciate that, Roman. I appreciate that. And for anybody who's new to the call, this is as structured as these things get. We just sort of wander around and ask questions. So to that end, the discussion so far, has that inspired any madness? Anybody have any questions about any parts of the platform right now? And the only thing I had on my agenda, we kind of covered at the top, was to talk about, make sure that everybody understood about the P1 licensing, that those token protections have been moved from behind the P2 paywall, thank you, Microsoft, down to the P1. I do have a couple other points, but Ben, anything on your list?
Only that advanced suppression is supposed to be released about the same time we do this next big release. Hopefully very
Yes,
soon.
I was going to ask about that. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
woke up there. What was that? Advanced suppression?
That'll be out about I think this next release. I wanted to show you guys a little bit about that. There has been some changes made to it. We have expanded the number of things that you can flag on. That have done that pretty significantly. So if there is anything that obviously that you don't see here, especially when it's released, let us know.
What about Ben? What about the like a scheduled suppression? I think you guys were talking about it before. Like say users traveling to United Kingdom from the 1st to the 5th. I want to suppress alerts from that user and UK. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's baked in. Start.
Will that be in the API? Will the API be exposed to this?
Yes, that's the plan, is for them to also release the API for it as well.
Perfect.
But it wasn't. It kind of got pushed away from at the same time, and I have told our team that it needs to be at the same time because there's a bunch of stuff that we need to use the API for MSA and KSM, and so I think the plan is for them to also release the API.
That's awesome.
There's a couple of very large bits of functionality, some of which are completely behind the scenes, but there's like what we're seeing here is really the blocker between all of this because, and not in a bad way, it's just that this functionality touches every single portion of the platform. So it's written and it's done and it's in regressive testing right now. And it has been for a while because we'll test and then we'll find something in the Fortify module that didn't work. Or we'll test and find something in the reports module that didn't work. And so we probably could have brought this out a little bit sooner, but we wanted to double, triple, quadruple check this because it is so impactful to so much of the platform. So we appreciate your patience. We know we've been hinting at this for a while, but I really do think we're pretty close. It's down to now formatting the issues. It's like, oh, this changed the font and now it looks silly. Not that it stopped working, it just looks silly. So that's the kind of level of things we're coming to.
When are you guys planning to release this again?
Any second now.
Any second now. I like that. All right.
Yeah, this quarter, but supposedly pretty soon. There's a big release coming out with bug fixes and improvements, and that supposed to be on them.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah.
All joking aside, Roman, I don't want to promise this month, but I think it's going to happen this month.
Well, as long as you guys don't have the typical Kaseya answer, it's on the roadmap. I like your answer better. I like your answer better.
No, and there definitely seems. Thanks, Stephen. Catch you next one, man. There are definitely some things that are on the roadmap and they're in the backlog. And when the dev team gets the bandwidth, they'll get around to it. But these things are the squeaky wheels. It's what you guys have asked for. So that's why these are next up on the list.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Things are coming. Speaking of things coming up on the list, is anybody here using snapshots in Fortify for Intune policies? Partner pointed out something the other day and I wanted to get some feedback.
Yeah, I have the beta. I haven't really honestly taken a good look at it. I'm still waiting for the conditional access and not the conditional access, the actual Intune part.
Exactly. So when I asked, hey, why are there no configurable options in Intune? Our dev team was like, there's a lot. We didn't know where to start. So they built the framework and the functionality there. So give me your top 5. If I could put 5 things in that Intune snapshot that you want to see and or have the ability to change, what would they be? Think about that and drop me an email. I'll take that back to our dev team. Talk to your team, talk to your guys, look at what you're already doing with Intune. What are you doing consistently across a bunch of the folks where you have Intune? What would you like to have better visibility of? What would you like to have better control of? Give me that feedback. We'll make it happen. Yeah. Mr. Enrique, what's for lunch?
It's still my breakfast, Starbucks. So going to that, Anthony, can you just enlighten me a little as to what the scope or processes of this, just to get my thinking cap on?
Enrique, tell me, what are you doing with the Intune right now?
Paying. Now, since we moved everyone over to Business Premium, we're slowly deploying security policies, restrictions, and we use a combination of SIP and Nerdio for it. So this snapshot, is it just for backing up, or is taking a snapshot so then we can tweak and deploy out as standards?
Exactly. So you can build a template and drop that onto any new boards or homogenize your stack. Yeah. And the reason why there's one snapshot for conditional access, one snapshot for Intune, and then there's all the named Microsoft policies is because of the way the APIs are structured for Microsoft. We we are not able at this time to give you one snapshot that puts in Intune policies, conditional access, name policies, all that. So it will for the foreseeable future be a three-step process. But that same thing with the templates, that's what we want to do for CA and for Intune.
I personally like it better separate.
Yeah.
Easier to
Appreciate the feedback.
configure, easier to manage than going through a gigantic list of stuff that then it's easier to get lost.
Got it. So
So
yeah,
today, what
that's
could we do with it?
you can take snapshots and you can apply them as they are. So basically, if you were to manually configure one
We had
client,
to have a golden tenant,
bingo, then pull that and you can apply that golden tenant to other instances, other clients.
which that's what I think SIP and Nerdy will do it similar, and I'm always afraid of taking a golden tenant. Because I want to take a golden tenant as a template and then tweak it inside SaaS Alerts, customize
Exactly.
it, and be ready to deploy. But just pushing a golden tenant one always scares me.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of partners are, I'm seeing a staged approach. They'll have one baseline policy, but that only does 10 things. You know, it's like the same 10 things that everybody needs. And then for the medical guys, there are those 5 or 8 things that are specific to that industry. Stack that template. Same idea with all of the Intune and conditional access. Tina?
How many of you guys are using those templates here in this
We
call?
are.
You are? We like to do things painfully, manually, slowly. So I'm just curious. Which ones are you pushing, Enrique?
So we primarily use SIP, even though we onboarded all our customers to Nerdio's Modern Work, which gives you the RMM capability and everything into it. I just feel SIP has a very easy, you go turning on. So like we'll do for anyone that doesn't have Avanan or Inky email protection, we'll do a default exchange protection. So we turn on the phishing, different Microsoft Defender things for those exchange tenants that are not paying for an upgraded version of protection. So we'll have that base template and that we push to those tenants. Then we have base templates like for stuff with the phishing resistant, the CSS or whatever you do on the HTML for the login, things like that. We have some basic standards that goes across the board for everyone, doesn't matter whatever they're doing. So yeah, we found SIP to be the easiest for us to manage. Nerdio overwhelms me a little so far. So
You're not using any of the templates in SaaS Alerts.
no, because I don't have access to my SaaS alerts. It's managed by Ben and Company, so I'm like the stranger in there.
Yeah,
The
to
thing
be
is, this is
clear,
new on the SaaS alert side. That started a couple of months back, and then you were adding more and more capabilities into Intune and things like that. We had gotten started on the other side.
Any other shy people in the call or in chat that have pushed out templates? We do it bit by bit manually.
Not the conditional access policies, not those templates. I mean, I'm beta testing both from Amanda, but I haven't used it yet. I mean, I see how it works. I'm playing around with it. I'm with some errors that are forwarded over to everybody, but I haven't used it yet.
I've pulled copies of our policies, so I've got the templates, but I have not like gone around to like apply them to anything or check them. So like I can use the benchmark thing, you know, that's cool, but you know, it's super minimal.
I see actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I see a lot of partners, they go, oh yeah, let's take a snapshot right now. So I've got a hinge point. If I make changes, I can always come back to this and, you know, bring things back and true it up if they have to. But it's funny because the Fortify module is getting a ton of development hours because other partners, I guess, that don't show up for this call are utilizing it. And we see the templates being used on a regular basis. You know, we have some metrics on that. I think those are even on the platform to show how many times other people are using it. But a lot of times if they rename it and do something custom with it, then we lose that visibility. But yeah, I know it's getting used. I know it's getting used. And Enrique, you're not alone. I talk to a lot of partners that both use SaaS Alerts and SIP. They do some things with SIP they find easier there. They do some things on SaaS Alerts with controls and policies. Tina, are you in that boat?
No, but there's a problem for Right of Boom 2026. There's a conflict between SIP and SaaS Alerts presentation on the pre-day. So can you guys sort that out, please? I want to do both.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Kelvin and give him a dope slap.
To Andrew. Maybe I'll have to bring it up on Thursday.
I would totally bring it up to Andrew.
100%. 100%.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of people that use both, and I think you should definitely bring it up to Andrew. It's a pre-day, so it's not like we don't have time. I mean, there's nothing else going on that day.
I think we should just get a bigger stage and we should all be up there at once.
I don't know why they double booked it.
I'm okay with that too, but I'm not okay with missing either. So I have started to email Andrew a couple times, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Is there
let him know. He's all for making it better. If I need to go on
earlier or later, that's fine. I don't care.
I'll tell him on Thursday.
Yeah, tell him that.
You guys talking about Vegas or DataCon?
Vegas.
Vegas. Okay.
Right of Boom.
Oh, the Right of Boom. I got you. Okay, wrong conference.
No. Anybody who's not familiar with Right of Boom, it's Andrew Morgan's baby. He's the one who curates our Thursday calls. And personally, as much as I love Kaseya and SaaS Alerts and everything else, I like Right of Boom because it's agnostic as far as vendor. It's put on by a guy who cares about security first, period. Everything else comes second. And it's never boring. So if you have the opportunity, get that one on your calendar. If you want any other information on it, join us on Thursday. Ask the guy who runs the silly thing. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a black hat conference except for people who aren't black hats. It's a lot of fun. In any case, we're doing some pre-day stuff. We're doing some SaaS Alerts, sort of university stuff while we're there. Again, I know Kelvin. Ben, this is funny. All of the emojis are now triangle bang. Oh, they're all a triangle bang for me now. I can't tell what anybody's emoji in. They all look the same. It makes me sad.
Black hat.
It's not you. It's me.
I goat.
Exactly. I forget where the goat came from, but it's very popular.
I called you the goat when I first met you.
That's right.
I started tossing it in the chat.
But now it's always on the sassy call. Everybody puts that as emoji.
Guys, about another 15 minutes. Any parts of the platform that we can dive into? Any questions? Any madness as this is inspired? And I'll say this, please, if you don't know where to find me, it's Anthony at SaaS Alerts. Email me what you think would be helpful in Intune. We'd love to put some policies in there, and I'm not going to promise it'll be done by Tuesday, but we love that kind of feedback. Where can we take this platform and make it better for you?
Talking about anything like block incognito on browsers.
Perfect. Yeah.
Restrict everything but Edge kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Give me your top 5. Give me your top 10. Give me a
put one MSP's background logo on all machines for every MSP in the world.
Exactly. How about mobile application management for iOS and Android? Yeah.
Like what, Tina?
Just app policies, manage app policies, mobile application management. I don't know if you're using that or not, but
you are with both Intune, Kanji, Adigi. But with Intune, you can, I don't think there would be a restriction, Anthony and Ben, would there?
No, it's a configuration policy,
yeah.
Should be fine.
Should be.
As long as the phone is managed, yeah.
I'm going to make you a list. So, that's for unmanaged phones, but I'm definitely getting on this.
Sort of a weird question, sorry. The mobile app that you have right now, will the SIM functionality be added to it eventually?
That's a good question. I I will fire that off to our friend Adam and ask, since he owns that particular part of the platform, and see what his thoughts on the matter are. Uh, Anybody who's not using SIM, it's very much a outcomes-based service. There's not a big shiny dashboard, no matter what Jim showed in Vegas, but there's about to be. Why say about to be? I mean, come see me in the spring. Um, or if there's anybody down under watching this, come see me in March or April. Um, we're working on that right now. I'm part of that team, and we're well beyond the wireframe. We know what it's going to look like. We know what sort of data fields we want to present, and when we get ready to start getting some beta testers, y'all are on my speed dial list. So,
Perfect.
yeah, fantastic. Guys, I want to thank everyone for showing up, asking some great questions. I'd love to keep the feedback going. You guys know where to find us between calls. Other than that, I hope to see you all on Thursday and again here in about 2 weeks.
Excellent. All right. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Stay
You all.
safe.
Bye, guys.
All right.